Hello, welcome back or welcome here for the first time. If you are coming back or new here, you're welcome either way. This is Magic with Melly. I am cleft-handed for anybody who is curious on, I guess, terminology. I just consider myself to be different just as everyone else is different. I have a more visible thing that makes me different, but we're all different and the same in so many ways. This reading is all about exactly the key terms that are in the title: retreating, reflecting, respecting. And there's a variable reason why you are here. It could be one thing, it could be many things. But the most important thing is that we're reflecting and we're trying to bring in respect to the situation and bring in peace and love and, move on. Essentially, be able to progress forward feeling our best. So earlier you saw I had some sage going. So I do have this new bundle that I have, this new sage bundle, but when I was unwrapping the string on it, some pieces came off that were able to be used. So I feel like that's related here, that you guys don't have to be a complete whole or to be like, if you feel like there's some pieces missing, you could still use and do with what you got. Just as I am doing here with the sage, whatever pieces fell off, I was like, well, I could still use this. So it's going to fly solo. Some of you are really highlighting your bests and your worsts at this time in your little retreat. Some of you are retreating into yourself, sort of coming into a hermit mode, maybe isolating, perhaps spending a lot of time on your own, so that you can reflect on what your situation means to you, or what your person means to you, or what you would like to do surrounding those things. Retreat, some of you may be considering going on vacation, going somewhere different, somewhere new. And hang on, my cat would love to exit the room. I'll see you later. Okay, he changed his mind and he wants attention, but right now is not the time because I am in a reading. So I think that is indicative of some of the energy that happened as well. Maybe someone changed their mind, maybe someone woke up from a nap, because that is clearly what's happening in here. I came in here to work and my cat was sleeping in here, and now that I'm working in here, he's all disturbed and wants to leave. And now he decided again he wants to leave. Okay, I'll see you later. And that's the beautiful thing about cats. They know their worth, okay? He wanted my attention, but I clearly stated right now is not the time. So then he decided, okay, I do actually want to leave the room. Like, he knows what he wants. He saw me, I came in here, I disturbed him, but I think he was really happy to see me and wanted to hang out, but now's not the time, right? So he came, showed me that he wanted attention, perhaps indicated maybe he wanted to leave, and then when I gave him the option, he changed his mind. And then again, he changed his mind again. So I think that's just a thing of maybe cats are very, like, they're a spirit animal of yours. Maybe you have a cat familiar, a spirit ally that is a pet of yours, but also guides you in some way. But another thing though, if you don't have a cat as a pet, you may have other animals as pets. And this part of the message is just to show you how we can resonate with animal energies and other energies, and just if it connects, it connects, right? And so I think some of you need to behave more like cats, that you know your worth, you know what would be a proper or good use of your time, and you adjust accordingly. And so my cat did want my attention, but when I couldn't give him my attention, he decided he's not going to just wait around for my attention. He's going to do what he wants and then come back later. And so I think that's some of this situation that's happening here in the collective. If you're dealing with somebody else or just inquiring about what to do on a situation, this reading is definitely for you, especially if you're spending all this time trying to like piece things together and such. Anyway, I have 3 tarot decks. I have the Star Tarot, the Everyday Witch Tarot, and a normal tarot deck. This reading's a little bit different than what I've been channeling lately. I have been having oracle cards in your readings to have like those synchronicities come through and advice come through, but this reading is solely tarot and energy, and kind of looking in between the lines and in depth, and essentially tapping into what is not at the current space known to us or easily understood by us. We have a 10 of Wands as a theme for the reading. So there is just carrying too much into this situation in general, and an overall needing to understand what to let go of, and either energetically or in the situation or when it comes to people. And here we have 6 of Pentacles. This card it's giving me community. There is choices within the community that could reflect or deflect wish fulfillment. I'm getting from Spirit, be careful who you share your secrets and information with. It could be used against you. Sometimes staying quiet or having boundaries is better than communicating. But sometimes communicating is what is needed. So some of you, your situation is playing out exactly as it should be, but you guys want to make a nudge or, come out of a situation better than before. Some of you are highly respected, and maybe something happened recently and it's putting a little push on your reputation in either a good or bad way, and you are trying to figure out, maybe your decision is based around what your reputation is. I'm getting something about this respect, right? You want to either increase the respect, or recently something has happened to potentially decrease your respect. I'm also picking up that someone felt really disrespected here, and maybe it wasn't even, the situation wasn't made aware, or something similar of that regard. Like, disrespect has to occur to make you realize that there's a lack of respect. Like perhaps an expectation was placed, and then when it wasn't met, that's disrespectful. Some of you, that's a message that you need, right? That you need to understand where you disrespected somebody. perhaps to meet someone with respect, you're offering them a retreat, a vacation, or something sweet. All in all, okay, there's a lot of excess energy. There's this 10 of wands is like extra energy, carrying a lot, and it's like, what do you do to channel it out? What do you do to like release it? Like, where do you put this extra energy? Is it my energy? Is it the other person's energy? Is there something about my energy I need to understand? Is it something about their energy I need to understand, or something surrounding the energy around the entire situation altogether? Is there something even that between you and the other person in the connection, maybe there's another energy that is impeding here? And in order to locate them, really figure out who it is, you have to treat everyone equally and kind of cast everyone out and ghost everyone and see what occurs surrounding that. Okay, so with the 3 tarot decks, I have one that's going to indicate your side, another tarot deck that's going to indicate the other side of the situation, and a middle deck to connect the two energies and what's sort of underlying the entire thing. That's what's going on here with the 3 tarot decks. If you resonated with any part of the beginning of the reading, then stay tuned. This reading is yours in whatever form, shape, capacity you believe it is. You could take in as much as you'd like and repel, just deny anything that is not for you. Please process everything and make sure that someone else's story isn't being meshed with your story. Only read and write and experience your story, and willingly, taking other people's experiences and things, that is willing. That is if you think it is related to you. That is if you think you could help in any way, or if they can help you in any way, of course, then connect. But otherwise, don't be connecting to something that isn't for you. It's not for you, so then it's not going to serve you. It's not going to do anything for you. So just be sure of yourself when you take something in and when something is approaching you, whether whether it feels good. I think it's this, like, whether it feels like it is suiting for you. Some answers are not going to be as clear cut. Some of it's going to be left as a half answer for you to fill in the rest. So realize that some messages could be coming to you as a warning. Some of the messages may not even be related to you at all. And the giving yourself the time and space to process it and let things flow is really important here. Whatever tarot deck I say is side A and side B, they could flip or flop, right? A lot of connections, you guys are resonating on similar energy, but with some variable, specifics, some details that are on or off. So if you feel like you begin to resonate on one side and then you're seeing a mixing of things, just realize that it's probably as close as it can get, with the fact that there's other people who are experiencing the same reading. And so the reading is going to be composed in a way where it benefits as many people as possible. That's why I'm saying, if you need to adjust anything in your reading, please do it as such. Accept, deny what's yours, what's not yours, adjust, flip roles, switch things around, identify yourself, identify the person when something happens in a reading. Maybe take notes, do whatever you think is necessary in order for you to understand it for yourself. Don't let anyone else's words or experiences shape anything in any way that you don't want it to be, because sometimes our imaginations can form things that aren't necessarily present, but it could be present in the future. So Some messages could be a warning, so you can do something about it now so it doesn't happen. So some accuracies in readings, they could be really accurate for the time, and then in the future it becomes inaccurate or more accurate. So just make sure you're solidifying your proper energies and solidifying yourself, that we're trying to make you stronger and not take away from you or take away from anyone else by any means. That is the intention in any of my readings. We do not take from others. We only give to one another here. So, my throat chakra it feels like it wants to close. I'm starting to like choke. So whoever you are involved with, someone may not have good intentions around you, and they may not want me to channel it, and that's okay. I am stronger than they are, and I'm going to help strengthen you so that you can be able to remove that as well, and be able to understand it and do the appropriate thing around it. If anybody has poor intentions surrounding you, they do not deserve to be in your space. Period. Dot. Period. 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 Like they lost the privilege to be around you solely on the premise that they ever had anything bad in their heart towards you. If they have it in their heart, whether they act on it, that's one thing. But you can tell sometimes. Some people just really, they don't have to say anything. What they do says a lot. Sometimes when someone can't do anything, all they do is talk. I think the collective's dealing with someone who talks the talk but can't walk the walk. Maybe a manipulator or a liar. But maybe it's not who you're dealing with directly, but someone in the situation that is making the situation harder than it needs to be. For some reason, I'm hearing rehab for a small collective in the reading. Is that maybe the situation went really dark and dangerous, and there is rehab, there is a lot of fixing in that regard, that there's literally whole programs that individuals are going to be needing to be in order to begin the healing process. Many of you, it's not that bad. It's not so bad that there's an entire program helping your individual or you, or like the situation. It could be just that it is a word that is needed to be like just reminded for a small portion of the collective, that is a resource that's available for some that are having personal struggles with their physical well-being after an injury. Maybe it is their mental or overall well-being, and they were using low vibe substances as escapism, and it went too dark, it went too dangerous. So that's of course only there if it's already there, like take it if it's already there in your situation, because that is something that is a very impactful and extreme note for the reading. So that specific thing about rehab is only for those that are already experiencing it and already know that there's something going down that line, or you're already in that process. For everyone else, I think you are just retreating, coming into a place of, how do I heal? How do I help? How do I respect the person and their decisions? How do I respect me as a person and my decisions? How do I... I'm getting repair. Something needs to be repaired here. Because you're in this reading because you want your person, you want your situation, you just don't want certain energies around it. And that's why we have this 10 of Wands. There's just this extra energy we don't want. So we're trying to either look to the community or come off of the community for help. And this 2 of Wands is knowing that you have the whole world at your fingertips, literally via mobile devices and computers. We have so much resources available to us. We have to take it into our own hands to find the proper resources. So it could be looking for rehab, looking for a mental, like a physical therapy, mental health therapy, counseling, looking for spiritual messages on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I think you guys are really dispelling the energy that isn't for you and taking in energy that is in alignment. And some of you are in this process already. You're either really deep in this process and you're still seeing occurrences, or you're just beginning this process and you don't know what to do. Because if you are, setting boundaries and protecting yourself, sometimes you don't know what exactly you're protecting yourself from, and you could be placing the boundary where it is needed and also where it is not needed. And you need to maybe release, maybe some boundaries are too strong surrounding certain people, and maybe you accidentally disrespected them because you protected yourself from someone you didn't even need protection from. That could be that message that fills in that hole of you didn't know you disrespected someone until you did, and then like you're seeing some repercussions behind some there's confusion here surrounding your actions or someone else's actions, or the actions combined, and how they may be working together, and why something hasn't manifested fully. Because we have the Star card, so I think it's just like we know what we want, but how do we get there? How do we bring peace and love to the situation? So now I'm gonna finally get into the tarot. So I'm going to just cover our 10 of Wands because we are making a solid choice to love and a solid choice to be peaceful and be on our journeys. So we're covering up 10 of Wands and moving on. We're releasing. So for the highest good of the collective, we're looking for messages surrounding the first side of the situation for this deck, and then the other side of the situation, and then the connecting reading. So we just want anything bad to come through so we can understand it. We don't want anything to linger or come around that isn't for our highest good. We are channeling to bring ourselves closer to ourselves and one another, and so that we can be with love in the closest and warmest capacities. Tell us what's on with the first side of the situation. What's going on here? What are we needing to know? We have Ace of Cups reverse, 8 of Pentacles, and then the 6 of Pentacles reverse. In between, like flipped over in the deck, is the Lovers reverse. I'm gonna like lower that a little bit, and then tell us some more about what is needed to know about this 7 of Swords and 10 of Swords. Back of the deck, 4 of Cups. So on this side of things, whether you resonate it to be with you or the other person, or you're going to take elements of it for yourself and elements of it for your person. Either way, what's going on here with this spread is Ace of Cups is giving me, when the situation began, there's a lot of potential. When the situation began, the energy was like aces. It was like, this is it. This is my person. This is my situation. This is my career. This is my passion. This is my thing. Okay, Ace of Cups is like that instant recognition of, this feels good, I want it. Eight of Pentacles, though, is like saying that there was a lot of self-discovery and a mission and a journey that is tied to it, that it doesn't just come and that's it, like that you had done some work or had some experience that led you to that person or thing, or like that it took a culmination of things in order for you to have what you had in the time. And that I'm getting from Spirit that once you receive it, that doesn't mean it's done. That it means that the work continues. That like, for example, if you did a good deed, and then that good deed granted you a reward, awesome, you got the reward. But in order to keep that role surrounding, being able to have the reward, being able to keep the reputation, or keep maintenance or anything like that, it requires the energy there is that you can't just think that once something is yours, it's always going to be yours. You have to take care of it. You have to love after it. You have to think about it. You have to take action around it. Because when you don't, Six of Pentacles reverse, it's this. This Six of Pentacles is this just being reflected again in reverse. So I think that back to this Eight of Pentacles. When this thing came in, you knew it was worthy of you. You knew you worked really hard in order for it to even show itself. And then when it came down to actually putting in the work to maintain it, it was even more work. And that's the thing, is like, you don't just, like, it was really exhausting to even get to the point of the Ace of Cups coming in. You're like, I want it, like, and then it came in. Then you didn't like appreciate it or put in, like, continue putting the work in, right? Like, there was something imbalanced here with the Six of Pentacles. There was an imbalance here. And I think there's also an element where some in the collective dealt with gossipers in their community, or dealt with someone who's not good for you in the community. Because earlier I did say Six of Pentacles, it does heavy give community vibes, and right here is reversed, and then here also we have the Lovers reversed and Seven of Swords. I think for those that were on the outside looking in at this connection, like, you have a couple, and like there's people on the outside looking in. Any previous flings, anyone that is attracted to your person, anybody that also wants your person, they're going to be using their tools, words, actions, whatever, to manifest what they want. And it's like, if they want your person, they're going to be manifesting your person and them together, and then you're also manifesting you and your person together. So this Lovers card, when it came out, it flipped out within the deck. So I think that the connection was a secret. And that was one of the biggest problems here. Is that maybe if it wasn't a complete secret, that there were some elements about it that were a secret, or some elements about your person or about you that remained a secret because there was fear surrounding what would happen when it was discovered. But the fact that it was held back, that's worse than the fact that like, you can't change the fact that something happened. You can't change how something happened or anything like that. It's set in stone. It already happened, can't be changed. But what can be changed is the energy surrounding it, and the energy surrounding like your new person and anything new that comes in. So whatever happened in the past, yeah, it stays in the past. It should stay in the past. But if it is brought up, if it's in conversation, or if they're still in your community, that's still present for you. And how you address it is really indicative of who you are now. And so some had individuals who were entertaining others. Like they were entertaining more than just you. The Seven of Swords is like really like, this animal here is giving me like, they are like, there's an innocence here, but an overprotection and like a wounded ego. So a lot of pain. There was an already existing amount of pain that was too much to carry, and then there was so many branches that kind of took off of mishandling of pain, so much that it just caused like so many ripple effects of starting one thing, not finishing it, and then starting another thing and not finishing it, and starting another thing and not finishing it. And that's like one of those things where someone who's experiencing pain and hasn't healed it, they're just going to repeat this cycle over and over with new people. It doesn't matter how many new people they meet, they're going to be re-experiencing this, like every time they get the chance that they want. It's going to be a repeat of the experience, and perhaps maybe even worse, or perhaps unlocking another lesson towards the same thing. Like just really Spirit's trying to hound in the spiritual lesson here. Four of Cups, this card's just giving me spiritual lesson. Behind it, King of Cups. Someone's really in their feelings. Someone's going through a dark night of the soul. I'm getting dark night of the soul because it's like their soul literally hurts. Like their soul has chosen so many dark energies, and they're waking up to the fact that they've done this for so long, that they've been in this Ten of Swords for so long, and escaping it with distractions, escaping it with a lot of people, a lot of work, a lot, just like too much of everything. So they're seeing burnout, they're seeing lots of stuff, and I think that this spiritual awakening is coming with a lot of stagnancies. It's coming with a lot of stops. It's coming with a lot of delays. It's coming with a lot of bad luck. It's because they chose this. They chose this for a long time. They were hurt, so they hurt other people. And maybe they didn't know how much what really they were doing. When some they knew what they were doing when they were doing it, and some they didn't know what they were doing when they were doing it. But this Lovers card being hidden, I think that's validation that if something was kept from you and you found out later, that's that. Or that you're going to be finding out that you like that was validation, that if you felt like you were being hidden or a secret, it's because you were. It's just maybe it was a secret that wasn't well kept, or that it was only kept sometimes, you know, like some people knew, some people didn't know. Like just whoever was convenient, you know, like the information was used conveniently rather than truthfully and with transparency. I think truth and transparency need to go hand in hand. You can't just tell half the truth, because the other part of the truth that wasn't revealed is manipulation. So that's part A. We have 10 of Cups for the other part of the situation, for the other side of the situation. We're looking for messages there. 10 of Cups, Page of Wands, Wheel of Fortune. Oh, 6 of Pentacles. Again, we have three Six of Pentacles. That is crazy how many times the 6 of Pentacles is coming out. So I think on your side of things, on this side of things, the 6 of Pentacles didn't serve you. On this side of things, the 6 of Pentacles may be benefiting here. It's just for the collective. Wait, but let's see. It's just for this. Clarifying. Thank you. I'm going to take the Emperor. But I'm also going to take this underneath it, Knight of Wands. And this is Page of Swords. On this side of things, because the back of the deck is Page of Swords, I think this side of things needs to communicate something. Like, whatever is missing in the perspective on this side hasn't, and it needs to be communicated to the other person in order, because I just can't be too specific there. I don't have a specific for you. There is a missing thing here, and the other side has it. Whatever it is, hopefully you figure it out. We have 10 of Cups, Page of Wands. On this side of things, this person really wants a family. They really want happiness. They really want success. They really want the peace. But I'm getting emphasis on family. And Page of Wands, it's this willingness to give it a try. This willingness that this side of things is making me smile, because I think this side is the spiritual person, or the person who, like, people feel safe around, people love and love to hate as well. This person has a lot of options, a lot of things going for them, as a matter of just picking what's next, essentially. Wow, it's so lovely to have such an easy energy. And I think that's just because they have put so much work into themselves that everything that they do now is easy, because the hard work's already been done. I think some of us in the collective are, you know, you resonate with this, or you resonate with seeing your person that way, is that you've literally seen them put all this hard work onto themselves, and that this next stage in their life is going to be a lot easier, and you know that they deserve it. You know that they give to the community that they're in, and that the community gives back to them, or is about to give back to them, because they are deserving. As much as humble or as small as they think they are, they're really not. They have a whole empire behind them. Yeah, because we have this Four of Cups. It's like this person looks really stressed out, but there's this person looks like they're coming in with like a new cup. You know, so it's like this person's stressed out with the cups that they already have, or, you know, stressed out with what's going on right now, what's presented in front of them. And then this person comes in with an offer, and this person doesn't see it yet, hasn't experienced it yet, doesn't, you know, they don't know it's about to happen. They don't know that they're an emperor, but they know that they have things that they feel passionate about, that they are on a journey around. And I think that that's what they're focusing on. They're not focusing on this person. They're focusing on like the hard work they've already done. I think that the missing piece here on this side, and, you know, on like giving and receiving, right? Like, it's going to be like, when someone gives, there's another end that's receiving. But if the other end doesn't give, then the person who gives never receives, right? So someone can't, like, that's why in my collective, nobody in my collective only takes. Everybody in this collective should be giving. That is the energy that I want to channel out for everyone. And so I think that what's happening here is this person is a giver. This person's a giver. This person's kind of a taker because of their past experiences with pain. They just feel like the universe owes them because of the pain they experienced. So they take anything and everything that they can because they feel like they deserve it. They deserve it to kind of overcome the pains of their past. But they don't realize that they're placing new pain on other people by behaving like this, because they're not giving enough to the world. They're not giving enough to themselves, first and foremost. And like that's kind of why this lover situation kind of fell apart, because maybe they even hid how they feel from themselves. Or they're like actively denying it, like always coming to an almost like, you know, like just when things feel right, feel amazing, they put in work and effort that would sabotage it, because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to feel anything else but pain. They don't know what to do with it. And with you, it's like, for the first time in forever, maybe, and maybe that song's important for you. Frozen, the movies, the Frozen movies, they could be important for you because that song, first time in forever. So it's like, perhaps you showed them something different. Maybe they're really used to how their surroundings had been treating them, and there wasn't a new standard until this person brought in a new standard. That you could build your empire, you can build the life that you want, that you can journey out into more than the pain you've already seen. That just because you've experienced something in the past doesn't mean your new experiences are going to be the same thing. Earlier, Four of Cups, this card was giving me spiritual awakening, because this person has chakras drawn onto their character. And the lotus symbolically indicates blossoming from a period of darkness, of murkiness, of like lotuses bloom in really dirty water, really murky water. And their blooms are so beautiful. It's a contrast. So I think that this is exactly that. Is that the fact that person A is still standing and is still enthusiastic towards life and like just the energy that they hold. It is amazing, because the level of pain that they went through, other people would not still be standing here today. And that is, I want to cry for you guys, because that is beautiful that you are still here. Like, I'm happy you exist. I'm happy you're still here. But yeah, this person really needed you. Person A, person B, you guys needed each other to show each other the energy you were missing. Because as much as this person gives to this person something they never experienced before, maybe they couldn't handle it, there was like some shit happened, okay? This person also gave to this person, even if it wasn't seen or experienced in the same way. Like, I'm getting like one side feels more heroic and one side feels more like the bad guy, like a villain. I think whichever side feels like a villain is the side of which they didn't listen to themselves and they listened to others first. They took in other opinions as more important than their own opinion, or even the perspective of the person that they're saying is important. I think that could have just been really disrespectful, is listening to a stranger's opinion over your own person, or over your own self. Some of you in the collective, it's your own disrespect towards yourself, and it's a disrespect towards somebody else, because you didn't know maybe their history, what they've been through, and how they would have wanted to be treated. And or you did know, okay? Because there is an energy surrounding, like, on this end of things. It's like, when the energy began, it did feel really good, but then there wasn't work to kind of keep it going strong. The disrespect could have been like surrounding, compounding a pain that already existed. So multiple players, multiple flings, multiple people, multiple jobs, like all sorts of things to distract from the pain. That is impossible, that, like, at this point in time, for this person, feels impossible to get through or feel. But it's like, it's going to stay there until you address it. The longer you don't address it, the longer it will stay. I think I got all the messages here so far. So let's see the connecting messages for both parties and what they need to understand together, or how to come back together. 6 of Wands. Aww. I love that. Okay, let's see what else. Okay. Oh, okay, we have the Moon. We have the Death reverse. We have 10 of Pentacles reverse. We have the World reverse. We have the Knight of Pentacles. And now it's the Devil card. I'm hearing, when the secrets are revealed, that when the truth is out, when all the truth is out, there this 6 of Wands is just, it's really giving me, you guys are going to be seen. the situation's going to be seen. That the situation's going to be publicized. And anything that shouldn't have happened, but it did anyway, is going to be uprooted and gone. Like someone else's poor intentions, that it just cannot, it just cannot pass. Especially when the truth comes out, just things don't pass when the truth comes out. The truth is whole. The truth is also unique for both sides. Someone's truth can also not be true for somebody else, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it's true. So anybody who is just straight up lying, that shit's gonna go away real fast when the truth comes out. But someone who is speaking their truth, it could be variable as to how much it aligns with your perspective, right? Someone could speak their truth and say, it feels like you're cheating, or it feels like you're lying. It feels like I don't have like the whole truth or the whole situation. Okay. That could be true for the person who says it. But whether or not they are like right about, like completely right, might not be it. They might be right in some shape or form, but not completely. And their placements could be something they're picking up from another person, right? So maybe they pick up someone who's lying to you, but they think you are the liar because the energy is around you, but they don't know if it's you or not. The world reverse is giving me karma and abundance and cycles completing. So some connections do have to end. It's only the ones that are not good for you, the ones that are affecting the important things in your life, right? Clearly, you respect yourself enough to figure out how, like, who, where, why, all that with what went wrong and how to fix it. Like, you respect yourself so much, you want to repair things. You respect other people so much, you want to repair things. But not every connection should be or could be repaired. That the abundance you're seeking could be elsewhere, that's not in some of the connections you're trying to stay attached to. This Knight of Pentacles is protect your energy, because we have the Devil card out. There is addictions, attachments, codependency, there is control, there is manipulation, there is false pretenses, false actions. When I was reading on this Wheel of Fortune card, it was like the person who resonates with this card is like they put in a lot of hard work, so the next steps in their life is going to be really easy. So the Devil shows up when you're about to get your blessings, when you have done work. Like when someone's receiving something really good, people's demons show because they're just going to express contempt and unhappiness. Contempt, not content. There's a different, it sounds like content, but it's contempt. CONTEMPT. That is thinking someone is not worthy of what they are experiencing. And the devil usually projects their own energy onto others to keep them to keep the connection alive. If you are going to level up or have a good experience, someone who doesn't have those experiences, maybe will never have those experiences, are willingly not choosing to put in the work to get the experiences, they will do what it takes to keep you on their level. They'll continue to lie. They'll continue to manipulate. They'll continue to play around with your heart and your situation because they still want you around. Maybe you've always been around. But I'm just getting that sick and tired of being sick and tired. If you've already done the work and you have people around you, it's this time of like reassessing if the people around you are in alignment with the hard work you've put in. And if they're in alignment with the energy that you're seeking. If you want honesty, truth, you have to embody that. And then when you embody that, you will be able to see if somebody matches that or not. It'll just be easier. But if you are sometimes honest and sometimes a liar, you are going to have the hardest time between who's honest to you and who's lying to you, because you do a variable mix of both. Whatever you give to someone else, they're giving it back to you. So if you have a hard time, you probably do the same exact thing that you are receiving. I'm getting one side with this, when I was saying like, this person, they give to the community, so the community gives back to them in the same rightful ways. It's surrounding their boundaries. This Four of Cups also gives like rejection. In the normal tarot, it's like this cup comes out of the sky. But in this reading, it's coming from another individual. So I think there was rejection surrounding new energy, and not knowing really where and what and things. When someone's new, or when anything's new, everything is going to be scary. Everything's going to be hard to navigate. But if you're clear and strongest with yourself, it's everything else outside of you will be clear and strong too. Even if it's not initially, it will be eventually, just because that's an energy that you already hold. So you need to hold the energy that you want consistently. Like, you need to be it. You can't just sometimes be it. You have to be pure with it. I think this message is coming to an end, but I'm intuitively being guided to say, like, Some of you are like, I want to be loved. I want to experience love. You can't do that until you love yourself first. And you can't love yourself first if you don't even know yourself. So I think it's this energy of discovery, self-discovery, choosing who you are, choosing the experiences you have. So if you want an honest experience, be an honest person. If you want an honest connection, be honest with the connection with the person. If they are not honest, that is not in your control. But what is in your control is whether or not they stay around, whether or not you continue talking to them, boundaries. So I think that's what happened on this side, is that they, this person had so much pain, they couldn't handle it, so they unintentionally or intentionally place new pain on others in variable scales of weightedness, like how much they hurt others. It just depends on their specific action. But this person saw that and had boundaries around it. Whether or not this person who was dealing with a lot of pain is like, I think I'm getting like one person in the connection was for sure good intentioned, has love for all, does a lot of hard work on self, mostly focuses on self to the point of like whatever they do, they make the world better because of how much they focused on their inputs and outputs in the world. When you haven't done that for yourself, it's just difficult to live in this world, not being fully aware of the repercussions your actions may have. I'm getting like saying one thing, doing another. So an example is saying like, you're the only one for me, but then they're talking to everyone and their mother, and it's like, that is clearly, I'm not the only one for you because you're entertaining these other people. So where the expectations get met or don't get met, that could be just based off of how someone tried to make the perspective go a certain way. In my experience, it was made to seem like someone was single for years, but they weren't really single. They had friends with benefits, which is almost relationships. So that was like an almost truth. But the way it was spoken and interpreted, the misalignment was not good. So that's why having full transparency, full truth can really help you, because if you leave anything out when it's found later, it's just really disrespectful to experience it later when you should have experienced it initially. That the time in between the first time you could have said it and the last chance you get to do it, that's a lot of time that was put on via the problem not being fully solved, and then perhaps you end up missing your chance to solve the problem, or that the problem never fully gets addressed because as time goes on, details get forgotten about, or even being able to hold someone accountable because you have information that was forgotten about. Like sometimes an argument just, it continues because so much time has passed without addressing it, that when you finally do address it, there's even more missing pieces than when you initially could have handled it. There's more confusion because there is people placing in assumptions, people who are gossiping, like filling in what's missing. I'm getting the connected energy could be like ask for what it is that you want whenever you want it. And if it's accepted or denied, like reflect on why. Why did that person ghost me? Why did that person not want to date me? Why did that person want to date me? Like actually ask, reflect on every single thing and your perspective around it. Like, I'm receiving it because I deserve it. Why do I deserve it? You could know, or you could be trying to figure it out. Some energy is like someone thought you deserved it and then you don't think you deserve it. Spirit knows where I'm getting like a like if you ever watched Game of Thrones, a Lannister always pays their dues. So I'm getting that with karma. So like if something really really bad happened to you, you know in your heart space you don't deserve it. Karma remembers. Karma remembers you experienced something awful. You didn't deserve it. So now like with the world and the Wheel of Fortune, Spirit's making things easier on whoever had experiences they never even deserved in the first place. That some experiences are just very human things. It's human perspective, human action, human how someone perceives something and what they're doing. Someone who maybe outwardly says, "Oh, that person was a cheater," or "That one was a player," or whatever. Well, maybe they were themselves, and that they're only noticing the action that their own actions caused another person to do. Like hurt people, right? So someone was hurt, then another person gets hurt, then another person gets hurt, and like that cycle needs to end. We need to be respecting one another. We need to be retreating into ourselves and really reflecting, what have I done to deserve what's happening? Or is this a product of another human? And even why would they have that in their mind and heart space? Reflecting on that. And that is extra work. Again, we did have that 10 of Wands. So you don't necessarily have to reflect on somebody else's actions or somebody else's situation. You're only responsible for yourself. You're only responsible for your situation. Even if other people are involved, their involvement with it, their energy, their anything, what they do about it, has nothing to do with you unless you choose that. But realize that's extra work, that's extra energy. So some of you are feeling sick and tired because you're giving away the energy you have to someone else to figure out something that they need to figure out for themselves. Like truly wholeheartedly like protect your energy and really inquire, reflect, did I deserve what just happened to me? What are the factors that led to what happened to me? Is there more I need to do, or is it respecting myself enough to know I didn't deserve it? I don't need to prove anything to anybody or anyone, whether or not I deserved what happened. You know, like just really like retreating into yourself and taking that action, being like, Well, I don't want to add to the energy. Like if it was a bad experience, don't add to the bad experience by making the experience worse. Some of you, some people in the collective are retaliative. When something happens that you don't like, you think that teaching them is like the method to teach them is to give them what they've given you. But that just doubles up on the energy you already don't like. That makes you the same as them. So if someone has given you a whole lot of shit you don't like, don't give back. Don't take that shit either. You know, if you want to give in a way that makes you feel good. So if someone gives you a bad experience and it puts you in a place where you want to give them a bad experience in return, oh my gosh, just please do not, like, find something safe to do. Instead, channel it out. Don't double up on a bad experience. Just take the bad experience and transmute it into good experiences in the future. Know that if you had a bad experience, that you experienced it so that you know that the person could potentially be bad for you. Potentially. Whether or not they are, you will discover that based off of the actions that you do the first time or the many times that they have treated you badly. I've spoken this in my readings before, but they treat you some type of way, you don't like it, say it. They do it again, you already told them, right? So they know better. You know they know better because you took it into your own hands to say it. But if you didn't say it, it's going to be difficult to approach them. And the longer it goes, it's even more difficult to approach them because it's like this building of resentment. How do they not notice that they're upsetting me? How do they not notice this is, like, you know, like how this is affecting me? Well, you notice because it's you. They're only gonna notice what is brought to their attention. And as individuals, our attention for the most part is mostly on ourselves and related to ourselves. So they don't know that your unhappiness is related to them until you tell them. They just think you're unhappy, and for some reason unknown to them. So they could try their best and try their best and try their best, but if they really don't know it's them or something else, they can't, like, or you towards yourself. If you know, like, but this reading is all about putting an end to confusion, an end to generally people who don't reflect on reality. I think the reality of the situation is people need to reflect more on how their perspective adds to the situation and how another perspective adds to the situation as well. And that is a unique combination. Everyone's placements on the types of boundaries and drama and gossiping and whether or not you let someone in, whether or not you communicate with someone, that's all going to be something you use your discernment around. In the end all be all of things, like if you were to just be all or nothing, whoever was done wrong, they're doing okay. You know, like they healed themselves, they worked through the situation, they processed everything. On the side of where they've done the hard work and things are easier, they just can make decisions really quickly. And they're probably doing fine. On the other side of things, the hard work is you know, it's still being worked through, and that the situation can solve itself, but if you are feeling called to do something, do it. Like, do it, don't think about it. I mean, like, do think about it, but if it feels right, it feels right. If you have to think about it, that's where perhaps you're learning and need to apply what you've learned, and that's where the thinking occurs. But if you have done a lot of the hard work, you don't have to think or work as hard. From Spirit, I'm just getting, if you don't feel ready or if you don't feel like it's right, then you are feeling that for a reason, and that divine timing, divine intervention will play. You know, just do your part. You know, keep healing, keep doing that portion of things. That way, when the time does come, when you get your opportunity, either to apologize or to fix things or whatever it is, like you're some of you, like this connection is in separation, like you just, the communication, there's no point surrounding the communication. That Spirit has left the situation to be what it is so that it could be handled separately. Some things are best handled or sold separately. Commercials? I'm getting, like, you know, like when you watch a show and then they say like the toys are sold separately. So it's like, it's the commercial as a whole benefits all the toys involved. All the toys are being advertised, but they're sold separately, so you don't get them all together. So I think that it could be one of those things where something was presented to you as a whole, as being complete, as being, you know, the hard work was done. Maybe that's what happened on this side. They made themselves like seem to be better than they were, and then they weren't. The commercials that you see selling toys, it looks like all the toys come together. They are made by the same company. You play with the toys together. They're even shown together. But then when you're at the store actually coming to the reality of things, they're all separate. I think that's a thing to know about love and about ourselves, is that pieces of us could be dispersed across many loved ones and many experiences. And loved ones is not just intimate, it could be family, it could be coworkers that you enjoy being around, it could be many things, you know, like there's so many parts of you And having all these things together makes you feel whole. So I think I believe that the expectation and reality weren't met here. And that you can expect the truth from yourself. You can't always expect it from others. That if you're going to lay down an expectation or a standard, you have to make sure you meet it. Can't be saying like, oh, I want you, like I want these things, but then not ready to do what it takes to have it. I just feel called to get a couple more messages for this situation. Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Wands reverse, Five of Wands, Three of Wands. Yeah, someone wants you to be in your head, but being in your head's not completely a bad thing. Like, your intuition's up there, right? And so being in your head's not a bad thing, but being in your head too long could be a bad thing. Like, when you receive anything in your mind space, know you're receiving it so that you can take an action around it, not just because you're supposed to think about it and that's it. I get it, like your intuition isn't going to just be so like just black and white. Like, you are human. There are mistakes and a margin of error. The Empress reverse and the Seven of Pentacles. But the fact that there was anything received intuitively in a bad context, that just shows the person not to put energy there. Period. Like, they just protected themselves from a situation altogether instead of leading themselves into a situation that was potentially dangerous. And then, like, they just saw it and chose not to nourish, like, nourish the bad context that came to them. They just didn't nourish that context. It came into their mind space. They received it as true. Even if it didn't feel true or seem true, your intuition doesn't lie. Other people lie. So someone who's a good liar, you may have found them to be honest. You may have thought that they were honest, but then your intuition's like, no, they ain't. And you're like, that could be just a practice that saves you from way more than you know. Like it's really impossible for you to know what exactly. It's like, if a situation is for you, you know. If a situation is not for you, you know. If it's kind of just there, it's gonna just kind of be there. Like, you're gonna be unbothered. Like, the important things are going to have much more power in your mind and heart space. So just remember that when you're being affected by people and things and such, that someone who's not really important to you may just do all these flashy things to try and be important because they see how important something else to you and they want to distract you. It could be that You guys could have experienced a lot of weird energy surrounding just jealous, envious people who do things when someone's got it good. They just do things because they want it good, and they're like, how do I get that? So they either take it from you or they just remove it because they can't stand to see it. And some of you have already experienced this and have developed the tool of just being able to listen to your intuition, like just being stronger with it. But some of you are still building this skill. Some of you are still building this skill, or even need to understand this about somebody else. And that's perhaps why they ghosted you, is because they just did not have the capacity to deal with whatever you were dealing with. So they're like, oh, well, I'm just going to leave them to deal with it because that is their situation anyway. It's not my situation. Like, I just got here, like, or I'm just the girlfriend, or I'm just the boyfriend, or I just work here. Like, some of you are really maybe literally saying this, like, I don't know why that, like, I don't know what's up with that person. They kind of just, like, that's their journey. Back of the deck, Ace of Swords. If you're longing for communication or what's the word? Like I'm getting interview over and over. So an interview could be important, like on the next stage. Or crossing paths could be important, so you can say what you need, get certain things off your chest. Let's see, after 2 cups. In this time and space, like, don't detach from how you're feeling. Like, take how you're feeling and do based off of that. Page of Pentacles reverse and the Lovers reverse, all behind this 2 of Cups, is giving me like surrender financial fear, surrender outside responsibilities. I'm getting an example here. Like, say you're unhappy at work. Okay, but you are happily willing to go to work because it serves you money and it pays your bills. But you're not listening to, like, you're unhappy. That half truth is getting you somewhere, but is not really going to get you very far. And that's the type of energy that energy ripples throughout many things. It's like starting a task and then you don't put your full attention on it, and then you start doing another task. You're leaving a mess everywhere because you didn't finish your task. And then you started another task, which is another mess. And so just really ensuring that you are fully focusing on you and how you feel, why you feel the way you do, and the choices surrounding, like, the choices you made that have created this. Repeatedly going back to a job you don't like, repeatedly going back to a person that hurt you, repeatedly choosing the same things because you didn't reflect on what happened when you chose it the first time. And how you could change so that the outcome could be different, or how, like, you know, all sorts of energies like that. I'm getting, if you don't feel good one day, don't force yourself to feel good. Feel bad for as long as you want to feel bad, and then feel good again. Some of you are choosing to stay in your bad energy. Choosing to stay at jobs that don't serve you, choosing to stay with a person who doesn't like you, choosing, you know, choosing these things. Stop choosing them. Choose something else. Maybe you need to choose someone who didn't choose you. And like kind of level up to that. But, you know, everyone wants what they want. So make sure you know what you want. Make sure that, because if you don't know what you want, you're just gonna like want things based off of its appearance, or like there's gonna be just superficial means as to why you chose it, rather than like fully understanding yourself and why you're attracted to something and what that something is, and taking that time to, like, all of this is related here. I think that the opportunities that you're looking to come in, they will come in, but how you handle it is going to be according to you. Like, if you are ready, you will see your opportunities as opportunities. If you are not ready, you will see your opportunities as obstacles. You will not see them for what they are. You will not be able to take it in fully, or in the capacity that you want. Like, you're if you're not at the, if you're not in alignment, you will repel. So that's why that's why it's really important to love yourself, because if you love yourself, then you will repel people who hate you. They literally will not be able to have a conversation with you, and if they do, it's going to be small talk. It's not going to get very far or do very much, because they can sense it, so their boundaries are up. But that's a skill you build. Like, some people can just take in anything and everything, because they're still processing who they are, and processing, like, letting their reflection be shown to them. You learn about who you are by also learning who you are not. So you get shown all sorts of things. But once you're clear on who you are, you can kind of be like, okay, I want this experience, I don't want this experience. But when you're young, you want all the experiences you can get. That way it can shape you. And I believe that even if the experience didn't fully go as expected or as desired, that the experiences on the experiences on both parties happened because it needed to. Because on your separate journeys, whether you choose to stay together or, you know, stay separated, whatever you end up choosing, both energies still learn something from the connection. There was still something new learned from the connection, even if the outcome wasn't expected or desired. That there was needs met, whether or not they were known they needed to be met. Person A needed a spiritual lesson, a spiritual awakening. Person B gave it to them. Person B needed something and person A gave it to them some way or other. And it could have been just validating the experience altogether. That what you get shown is just a testament. It's a test. What have you learned? What can you learn? You know, after every exam or test, you get it back and it's graded, and you literally can see your mistakes. You can see where you did right, where you did wrong. And you could take that and move on to a new relationship, a new situation, or bring it full circle in the already existing relationship or job or whatever it is. I think that's such a beautiful thing. Like, everything about this, like in the aftermath and even leading into and during, it was all a choice. Honor yourselves in this time and space right now. Like, just be like, I am honored I even had the experience in the first place. I am honored to have experiences here on earth in the first place. I am honored to be who I am, even if I don't know who I am. I am honored that I get the chance to figure it out. I'm honored by others. You know, I honor myself, and that shows others how to honor me. Respect and honor are kind of like, they go together. So here's something that's just going through my mind then. If you're honoring your you know, what you need, what you want, say that going to a social event gives you anxiety because someone's going to be there that you don't want to experience. Okay, you honor that and you say, I don't want to go. Someone who respects you will respect that decision. And they won't feel the need or want to gossip or change your mind because they respect that you are choosing something for yourself. Whether it's good for you or bad, they respect that you chose it. And I think that there's an important message here with respect and feeling chosen and being chosen and alignment with that. You can feel ugly but not be ugly. You can feel beautiful and not be beautiful. I just made examples of both because I didn't want to be unfair there, but really how you feel towards yourself isn't truth, and that you can always change it. And how other people feel about you isn't truth either, and you can't change you can't change someone else, but you can change yourself. So someone liking you or not liking you, okay, whatever. Make sure you like yourself. Make sure you love yourself. then at least from then forward, you can choose people who match that. If you this is just repeating, of examples, but like if you like yourself sometimes and dislike yourself sometimes, that's normal. You're going to experience that with anybody, including yourself. But loving yourself is something that can come in many forms. It can come in the form of socializing more because you know you need it, socializing less because you know you need it. Love is like meeting someone at their needs and wants and looking to continue doing that and improve doing that, or consistently doing that. However much you would like that to resonate, you could take it. Liking yourself and loving yourself are different. You can really dislike how you are, like who you are and what you are right now, but loving yourself through it is bigger. So do that. You know you need something, so go give it to yourself. You know you want something, so go give it to yourself. Spirit wants us less in the energy of arguing with ourselves and arguing with others, and just doing what's right by you, or even just choosing for yourself and taking less of others' choices, and like reflecting less on others and reflecting more on yourself. I thought the reflection of others is just meant for it's for the individual that's experiencing it. So if you're experiencing another individual, understand them to the capacity to which is relevant for you, but going deeper is extra. And you don't have to if you don't want to. Under page 1. Yeah. Yeah. You guys are just firmly grasping the next stages here, and I totally love that for you, because the resources are infinite. For the resources and responses are infinite. So do what feels right. You are the driver of your own life, so put your hands on the wheel and go full circle. Close cycles, begin cycles, finish what you start, put the pedal to the metal. Well, anyways, that was the reading, so thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for being magical and sharing space with me. This was Magic with Melly, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.